What percentage do you think is higher? Ben Simmons landing with the Kings or Ben Simmons' 3-point percentage, which I think the career 3-point percentage is about 14.9%.
Yeah. I think you probably have a better shot at landing with the Kings at that point.
You do?
Yeah, okay. I do.
You put it above 15%. Okay.
And here's why. Here's why. Because the Kings, again, I hate smacking them upside the head all the time, but this is a perennial lottery team, which means that you suck. You've been in the lottery how many years, and you've got all your picks. So you have assets. And I've always argued, I think I've told you guys this even when we were leading up to the draft, which is like, to me, your best asset is your pick, and it's your best asset before you ever attach a name to it. And because of that becomes your movable, your shoppable, your everything, all your biggest asset. Now you could argue, but De'Aaron's the biggest talent, and Tyrese and Davion could be the biggest potential and all that. And I would agree with you. But again, from an NBA marketability standpoint, that those picks carry a lot of weight. Do those picks attract the 76ers necessarily for where they are right now? Again, a championship aspiration team and building around the we need players now. Maybe not. But think of it this way. They do have some pieces that could fit nicely into a championship caliber team. Also trending in the right direction for potential later on. But again, if they want to be in player, let's say, they want to be a player for Dame Lillard next offseason, well, those picks would become a hell of a lot more attractive to another team as well. So, yeah, I think Sacramento has a decent shot still of landing Ben Simmons just because of what they can offer in terms of picks. And, yeah, look, again, I mentioned it earlier. I know they love Buddy Hield. I know this. I know they want that type of player. They want a type of shooter around him. And let's just pretend that happens. Like Sacramento might think, we know a version of Buddy Hield where the Kings need him to be like a second or third best player. The Philadelphia 76ers would need Buddy Hield to be like the fourth or fifth best player on their team. So you would see a much different Buddy Hield in that regard because of the way they play and what they would have him do. The Kings asked Buddy Hield to do too much. He can just go to Philly and give the ball up, not necessarily just stand in the corner, but he can be just the knockdown shooter, encourage him to shoot every three in the world like the Kings should do, and not necessarily have to rely on him as a playmaker sometimes.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems for Buddy Hield. But at the same time, too, it's like you get paid to play like you should be doing a lot more, right? And you just, I think what a lot of Kings fans were hoping to see was this improvement in his ball handling, in his playmaking, but you're not going to get that when you don't have a high basketball IQ. And
right.
He's older, where it's not like that's going to change. But what can change is, again, a new scenery for him, a new way of playing basketball, a new roster, and him being capable of just, like you're saying, spot up, shoot in the corner, people driving and dishing to you. Yeah, he's going to excel.
It may look a little better if he's on the roster to start the year. Maybe, he's less likely to have the ball in his hands, to bring the ball up because the Kings have so many guys now that handle with Fox, Halliburton, and Mitchell. I don't know.
And that's what I was going to say, Sean. Do you think that with everything right now, with what we're hearing today about Ben Simmons, Buddy Hield still being in a Sacramento Kings jersey, do you think that Buddy is going to remain a Sacramento King for the rest of the season, or at least until trade deadline? What are your feelings on Buddy Hield?
Well, I think he'll be there going into training camp. I just don't think there's a move out there that, and it's so funny that, it's always, it's Buddy and Bagley, and it's like they're tied at the hip. Like that doesn't necessarily mean, again, like so many things that get reported or even rumored are almost taken as fact just too often. But, there's a reason those guys get rumored around quite a bit for more than one reason. One reason might be, okay, they're the pieces that they might not be as valued by the current franchise as is, but that can change weeks from now. It could change days, could have changed weeks ago. Maybe it's a different look. Like Monty always wants to bet on the talent. And when you've got someone like Buddy Hield, who's the shooter that he is, you're talking elite level shooting. which gets rewarded in this league. I mean, anyone see what Duncan Robinson just got? And
Exactly.
and Morgan, the one I would disagree slightly with what you said. I mean, I agree with pretty much everything you said, but the one thing that just I keep going back to, I heard it's, you don't get paid for the player you are now. You get paid for the player you could be, right?
I say that all the time. It's like, yes, exactly. Yeah. People are betting on what you can be.
Right. And it's all about that potential. And again, you're rewarding someone even at the time of being, but Buddy was that weird scenario because he was such a productive player, right? It's like, would Buddy be any different than what he was when they signed him, when Vladdy gave him, he had to, especially for being that elite shooter. And he's trending when you're in the likes of the Steph Curry, Klay Thompson era of shooting and being one of those types of players. Absolutely. So it's just unfortunate that they sometimes need Buddy to be something that he's not. And they're trying to, develop him in a way to maybe be that player that can be more and can do more. And it's like, at the end of the day, no, maybe Buddy's just Buddy and we probably just need him to do this.